What's up?
What are
We
we talking about?
Hey, we going live, man. You know what we're here for. It is Bros with Mics. Boy, it's been a long time since I see your smiling face. It's
What up?
been
What up? What
a
up? What up? What up?
minute. I'm Tom.
Cody, what's happening?
Hey, what's good? What's good? You know, man, we had to go and get out here because top 25 officially dropped. Is it what we expected? I don't know. I didn't expect a whole lot just because, with the changing landscapes, a lot of things, Pac 12 finally becoming a Pac 2, everything kind of becoming what it is at this point in time. So I didn't know what to expect. I knew for damn sure, Colorado wasn't going to be in it after all the hype they've gotten this offseason. Like they're really doing something. I think that house of cards is coming down. That's all I'm saying. So we got a
Yeah,
lot to talk about on this one, and we'll see.
yeah, definitely a different scenery coming up. But initial reaction to the AP poll was kind of expected. I think some of the teams on there were kind of already set in stone just from the video game that we have yet to talk about. We'll hop in that a little bit. But overall, I think the teams that were in the video game, they kind of got it right with the preseason AP poll, and I think that was very important getting that established and kind of just seeing where they was at. I think they was kind of guesstimating at that point, but no, it was almost spot on, pretty close. But I really don't have any complaints with it as an overall discussion. But it just honestly, man, feels good to be back. Feels good to be back. I can't sit here and like stress that enough that busyness has been taking over. So both of us is kind of going into a different change of plan in our lives. So we're taking different routes, and it's kind of taking our time away from podcasting. But overall, it's just great to be back. Great to have college football back. More importantly, honestly.
Heck yeah, it comes in seasons, at the beginning of the year, you're like, dang, the bowl game's just now ending. We got everything out. The championship happened. Michigan wins it all. I'm like, okay, that's the end of the season. Get a
Mhm.
little break. And then after about 2-3 weeks, it's like, all right, I miss it.
Yeah,
You start
yeah.
counting the days. What's left? Okay, we got a little bit of NFL left to buy us some time for about a month. And then that ends. And now it's all focused on recruiting. That's all you kind of think about. Then after that, spring ball hits. I'm okay, we got excited again. These players out here making moves, getting us excited for what's coming. The transfer portal keeps us on our toes during that time. So now the summer hits and it's like, dog, I can't watch any more basketball. Luckily, the Olympics gave us a little bit of
The Olympics saved the day.
it gave us a little bit of cushion, excitement with the basketball team, track, and everything else is going on.
Mhm.
U.S. placed top again, though we tied in gold medals. Overall, nobody came close to us at 120 some odd medals to like 70, 80, something like that. So now we are a week and some change away from the kickoff. What is it? Florida State versus Tech, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
I think
Georgia
that's the
Tech,
first.
Florida State,
Yeah, that
start
is
week 0.
that's awesome. That's
Uh-huh.
awesome. Finally get back in it with somebody to see something. Now's the time of year. I don't want you guys to ask me to do jack on Saturdays. Don't have wedding on Saturdays during the fall. Don't ask me to do nothing unless it is a bye week. Also Kennesaw State first year in the FBS. That's awesome. I had a bunch of homies who went there. That's their
Alma mater.
alma mater.
It's
Jesus
my
Christ.
alma mater.
Alma mater. Alma mater. Super number. Cooper number. It's a bunch of crazy stuff. But to shout out to Kennesaw making huge moves, seeing them from when they first started their football program to where they are now, that's wild. Honestly, just how quick of a turnaround it was, and they've had some bangers come out of it. Some kids who are ready to eat and try to get to that next level. So shout
Yeah.
out to Kennesaw State, go Owls, heck yeah. Um,
Kind of diving back to uh just the moment of not having college football. I know for me personally, it's just kind of like I really don't want to watch anything else. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
nothing. Like, that's all I care about when it starts. That's
yes.
all I care
So
about.
it's kind of one of those things where you just like it's like a depression almost. Not to get into it, but like as far as sports goes, like
Yeah,
the NBA hadn't really been doing it for me lately. The NFL is too much politics.
yeah,
It's a lot of things that go into what keeps my sports interest appealed. At the end of the day, it's just college football. So like it's like all or none. You know, I'm a Cowboys fan as well, and I'll watch like 4 or 5 games. Definitely watch the Thanksgiving games and stuff like that. But it's something that I look forward to. And hitting back before that to the preseason, I do have a question for you.
Yo.
So top 5,
Mm-hmm.
we have UGA rounding off at 1, right?
Yep.
OSU,
Yep.
Oregon,
Mm-hmm.
Texas, Alabama.
Alabama. Mm.
Okay. Do you like that list?
Yes, up until Alabama.
Why?
I just don't think you can't expect some type of fall off. The ceiling is 12 games. The floor is 7-5. I think Alabama is a 9-win, maybe 10-win team. I don't think Alabama's top 5. Honestly, I'd see Ole Miss with consistency, not losing a coach, getting these recruits in. I think with consistency, I'd put Ole Miss at 5 over Alabama.
Okay,
Honestly.
so if you think Alabama's a 10-win team, they're a playoff team.
Yes, but playoffs is 12. You can have up to 12. The 10-win teams in the top 10.
No, that's what I'm saying. If they're a 10-win team, they are in the SEC. They are a playoff team.
But I think
maybe not championship.
Where I have them is more like 9 wins. I see Alabama's a 9-win. I see them possibly dropping Georgia, possibly dropping Texas, maybe even dropping Tennessee, which they're coming to Neyland, dropping Tennessee and Ole Miss. There's a chance Alabama could go 8-4.
It is, but is that a bad season? You know,
for Alabama, yes, it is. That's like Oklahoma, who, like you said, we're so used to 10 wins. When we see them getting 8 wins, it's whoa, that's weird.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's a new level. It's a new era that has came to college footbal.
Exactly. So I don't see them as a top 5 team. 8 wins ain't bad. 8 wins didn't get you to the top 12, though.
No, I don't think 8 wins will. But in the SEC, they have to go through. I got their schedule here. They have to go through Tennessee, Missouri, LSU, Oklahoma, and Auburn.
Georgia.
And Georgia. Yeah, and Georgia. So they dropped 2 games. Any 2, whatever 2 that they drop, they're in the college football playoffs. So if any teams that only have 2 losses in the SEC this season, they're going to be in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So,
and it depends on who they drop those 2 losses to. You got to factor that in. Who do you drop your 2 losses to? Do you drop your 2 losses to the top tier teams in the SEC, or do you drop a game to a Kentucky, or do you drop a game like Auburn?
They don't play. Auburn's understandable.
I'm saying to that level. Do you drop it to somebody who's not a Georgia, who's not a Texas, who's not an Ole Miss?
So I think that we all know that rivalries mean a little more. So even if you do drop your rivalry game, I think even if with the schedule that most teams have in the SEC, they know what you have to go through. Anybody who has 2 losses in the SEC is an automatic bid in the playoffs. I don't care if it's against Western Kentucky,
Not if you drop a game to Vandy. Now you drop a
game.
Mississippi State.
But if you drop a game to Vandy, and then you turn around, drop a game to Auburn. Let's say they lose to Vandy and Auburn, some just off the wall stuff. That means they beat Georgia, they beat LSU, they beat Missouri, they beat Oklahoma, and
then you drop those 2 games, and you're not going to the SEC championship.
No, and that's the thing. It's leeway.
Now you drop those 2 games, and you're not in contention for the championship.
Oh, well, no, you could be, because one of those games you would only have 1 loss in the SEC, and that'd be Auburn. I just said Western Kentucky and Auburn. So, like, even if you lose 2 games, it don't matter what 2 games you lose as an SEC team, you're in the playoffs because of what you had to go through.
Because of everybody else you had to play.
Exactly. So that means, like Oklahoma, for instance, Gauntlet. They have LSU, Missouri, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Alabama, and they have Tulane. And people sleep on Tulane. I hate the narrative around Tulane. Tulane is a good team. Like, what they just lost, they just came off of 1 or 2 loss season last year.
Yeah,
like Tulane's a good team. Yeah, they're a good team. So Oklahoma has and Texas. So if you lose 2 games, say you lose to Texas and Alabama, that means you beat LSU, Missouri, and Ole Miss.
Yeah,
right. No matter what, you're going to be a shoo-in for the playoffs. So that's I guess kind of where we're going with the conversation is the SEC teams that only have 2 losses and maybe 3 can get into the playoffs. And I think
I don't see it. 3 losses is tough because of the talent, the amount of they're not going to let more than 4 to 5 SEC teams get in.
No, and that's what I'm
So,
saying. It's not going to be that because everybody plays each other. So
yeah,
it's not going to be multiple teams with it may
3
be 2 or
losses.
3
Yeah.
teams with 3 losses, but those 3 losses will be factored in, right? So I watch football all the time, and Heather Dintage and David Pollock, they talk about that a 3-loss SEC team will be in the playoffs this year. Like, it's just inevitable. It's so deep. You cannot not have them there. You know what I'm saying?
But
So
it also depends on where you start your season at. Where do you start your season ranked at? That is a huge factor. You start your season not ranked and you drop 3 losses, it's going to be hard to get into the top 12 because there's so many other teams trying to get into those
now
spots.
we're talking about these teams. So and Florida's included. So
Florida,
we're talking about
Florida's not going to win.
but I'm just saying, like, if I don't even think Florida's ranked. So
Yeah,
if
Florida's
if
a
Florida
team, yeah.
if Florida goes and they're a 10-win team without being ranked and they lose their last 2 games, they're still going to be in. That's just how it goes. Their schedule is the hardest, the number 1 hardest in the SEC, I think, in the nation, if I'm not mistaken.
Let's take a dive into it then. Let's take a dive into the Florida schedule.
Oklahoma's number 2, right? So what I'm saying is, if you have, let's say that you're ranked 20 right now and you drop 2 losses, you'll be in the playoffs. It don't matter because that means you had to beat some quality teams.
Yeah.
If Georgia drops 2 losses, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about Vandy. I'm talking about Georgia, Alabama, Ole Miss, Missouri, LSU, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Texas, even Florida. If Florida goes in and goes 9-3,
yeah,
possibly
if
could
they
be
go
in there.
9-3 with their schedule, that'd be amazing. I mean, you start off with number 19 Miami.
Right.
You go to Stanford, which is nothing. You play TAMU. Okay, they might still be ranked. They might still be ranked.
TAMU's, we don't know. They just got a new head coach. You know, we don't know.
We might see. They go Mississippi State after that, UCF. Then they get the gauntlet. Now they got Tennessee, Kentucky, Georgia, Texas, LSU. I do not see them coming out of after UCF when they play Tennessee. I see them dropping Tennessee. Kentucky, Kentucky fights them good, so you never know. They're going to drop Georgia. They're going to drop LSU. They're going to drop Ole Miss. They're probably going to drop Florida State.
And that's what I'm saying. They probably will, but just for conversation.
If they come out of that with 3 wins, out of
3 losses.
3, well, I'm saying getting 3 big wins out of you beat a Georgia, you beat a Texas, you beat a LSU or Ole Miss. That puts you what?
Or Tennessee or Miami.
I mean,
so
they
will be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So and that's, I kind of think what they're saying is SEC conversation is that an SEC team that has 3 losses will probably be in the playoffs.
Yeah,
probably. If you have 2 losses, you're definitely it's 100%. Almost like you're a shoe in. You know what I'm saying? So
you're shoe in again.
Yeah,
because of everybody else you had to beat.
The thing though, and I know we're kind of jumping around the board right here, but the thing that I wonder about is what happens with Notre Dame.
They almost kind of get a free pass, so to speak. One, because their schedule allows it. They have a very fluid schedule, which allows them to have some play in there. Everybody else, you're playing tough. Let's see. Let's pull up the schedule.
Right. Yeah. So excuse me. So it's kind of like, what do we do? And I know we're rambling, we're going on, but it's been a long time. It's been a lot that needs to be discussed.
Yeah.
It's a lot that we've talked about in private, just according to college football. It's a lot that, like, our interests, so sometimes you like a kid in a candy shop. You get to the candy shop and you don't know where to go. You start jumping here to there.
That's everything here.
As soon as you're, as soon as the mind goes, you should start going everywhere else. But
to pull that tangent to tie it back in, Notre Dame, like I said, has it easy. Their toughest game to start the season, TAMU. We don't know how good they're going to be. That's
is that their week 1?
Yeah,
game?
They got TAMU and then Northern Illinois, Purdue, Miami of Ohio, Louisville, who has talent, but then Stanford, Georgia Tech, Navy, Florida State, Virginia, Army, USC. Notre Dame doesn't have a hard schedule. They are in a position to have all not a cakewalk, but a pretty easy trail to the playoffs. There's no way with this schedule they can't be top 12. There's no way you can't finish top 12 with this type of schedule. Even if you drop a game to Florida State or to TAMU and you clean the slate with everybody else, you're still in a position to be top 12.
It
So
just it's hard to see what happens in the SEC at that point. So, like
yeah,
we said, like we were just saying, like a 3-loss team possibly is, I'd say it's like a 75% chance they're going to be in the college football playoffs. So, like according to that, you go strength of schedule. So, say it is
and then that'll show TAMU strength of schedule. I mean, Notre Dame strength of schedule over an SEC team just ain't there.
It ain't going to
And
match
the
up.
CFP isn't the AP. They'll take that into consideration. The quality of your team and the strength of schedule. Those things are going to start making a factor. It's like, hey, you don't hold up when we weigh your sins on the scale. It's you're not holding up at this point.
Exactly. But no, I definitely wanted to kind of just pinpoint some of those, the top 5. I just want to pick your brain, see any interest. But I do have a question. Start off with Tennessee. Fair slate with the rankings,
Yes.
season projections, all that kind of stuff. Like, what are you thinking about?
Let's get into the Vols, y'all. I'm all Vol, y'all. Bleed orange through and through. 15, I think it's fair. 100% fair. We have Nico, who we were discussing earlier, coming into this, not really being at the helm. He's really not controlled a team for almost 2 years. He was in high school, came out that December, has been riding the pine, got one great game too. We can see it against a bowl team like Iowa, where it's not really like we got to see sparks of it. He hasn't really been cut loose. Now, coming into the season, we start off with Chattanooga. Start with the Mocs. That's beautiful. That's great to get his gears moving and really seeing what's going on. But we have a tough game the following week at NC State.
That's a tough game. I'm glad you acknowledged that. That's a tough game.
So going into it, especially that's a team it's not a cakewalk like how we usually start with a not Akron, but a Pitt type team or somebody like that. You really gotta fight for this one. So he'll get in there. We should walk away with a tough victory, but we're gonna see how it actually goes for him. So we got UTC, we take that win. NC State, I think just because it's gonna be tough, we still take it. But we're gonna have to work out some kinks. Turn around, win Kent State. We come into Oklahoma 3-0, and that's where his challenge is really going to begin. That's where we're going to see how our O-line is going to hold up against some real competition. Like, yes, ACC is good. It's a quality team in the ACC, but the line just isn't the same when you're playing it, right? That's where really the difference is in the trenches.
So just to pause right there on Oklahoma, and I know that's both our teams. Yeah. It just make it even more obvious for us to take a break. But it's also the start of SEC play, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't think people know the severity of the weight that this game holds. Josh Heupel coming back to Norman. First game of Nico's SEC career. First game of Jackson Arnold's SEC career. I think that we both, even though both our teams have tough games ahead of that first SEC matchup, which we will learn about Nico. We will learn about Jackson Arnold, but that game is going to tell a whole lot. And I think it's going to kind of identify how your season is going to go for the rest, the remainder. So you look at Nico coming into Norman. I say, hostile environment, right? Oklahoma's no slouch. Stadium wise, so hostile environment. You go play a very difficult defense that schemes up a lot of craziness. Jackson Arnold, you go play a really good D line in Tennessee, and it's also your first SEC game. So it's going to be that week is going to be special. Just to see. I think that we're going to remember this week to solidify what's going to happen in the future with both quarterbacks, right? But yeah, no, that's all I want to say.
No, honestly, and you broke it down, hit the nail on the head. But I will say, listen to Nico talk about it, and Nico talking in general with it. When you ask him, a reporter was like, "Okay, how do you feel home versus away?" He said, "Personally, I prefer to play away games." He said, "I feel more calm, cool, collected in away games than I do at home. I feel like more is on the line, so it allows me to compete a little bit more, to go a little bit harder. So hearing that, and it's okay, you know, that's good to hear, especially being young, but not so young where this is his first time playing. He's not a true freshman out here like, hey, the senior got hurt, you're in the game. He's had time to really develop and mold, and he's been in loud environments. He's been at kneeling with it, which like, dang, this is crazy. Now you get to experience it on the field. Now, will that hold up? Will you be worth your weight in salt? Who knows? But this is his time to shine with it, and I think this is going to be a true test. And honestly, I can't put a prediction on it because I don't know which way it's going to go.
Honestly, I don't either.
Seeing him, I don't know which way it's going to go. But this will tell how the rest of our season goes for both teams. For these young quarterbacks who are both in the same situation, having sat out. Jackson Arnold got to get a little bit more PT because of events that folded. He got to get a little bit more, but now unfolded. If Tennessee wins this game, and I'm going hypothetically from here, if Tennessee wins this game, coming 4-0 into Arkansas, we are finna moonwalk turkey bacon right there. We're gonna stomp them out.
Moonwalk turkey bacon even mean?
Hey, that means we finna glide through that. That's what we're about to do. So Bacon Bits will beat them to turn around, and we're going. Florida's coming to Tennessee. We win this at home. Florida comes to Tennessee. We win it at home. With that. And then
who is Florida's quarterback, by the way?
Graham Mertz.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And then Alabama comes to Tennessee. We're rolling at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-0 at this point in time. Alabama at home. Possible repeat of 2022.
Possible.
If we beat Oklahoma, and Nico looks good, his composure during that game would have determined how this one goes. Right? Florida, I don't think it's going to be as big of a test as Oklahoma or Alabama, right? Mm-hmm. Our line stays healthy. We come to this Alabama game healthy. We win it in a close one. We had a chance to win it last year. They were a lot better team last year. And we saw how that went up to halftime. We were handling business. Then stuff just started going left. Joe Milton just started trying to take over the game where he could have just kept doing the way we were doing. So I digress. But if Nico stays calm and collect that Oklahoma game, he transfers and now he's at home. And arguably the biggest game, actually it's not argument, there's no argument. This is Tennessee's biggest game. It's the third Saturday in October is our biggest game, hands down, right? Alabama. He beats Alabama. Kentucky gets stomped. Mississippi State gets stomped. Then we're at Georgia. We can drop that at Georgia. Then turn around UTEP, Vandy, and still be arguably
you'll be fine.
SEC championship. Potentially.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Even if we drop Alabama or we drop Oklahoma and pick up Alabama, we'll still be okay dropping to Georgia. We can afford to lose two of these tough games.
Oklahoma, you have to get one of them.
Georgia. Yeah, we have to get Oklahoma or Georgia. We cannot drop both.
Yeah, you have to get Oklahoma, Georgia, Bama. So you have to get one. I mean, obviously you got to get all of them, but
yeah, all right.
Just talking about the teams that we ain't mentioned. Mm-hmm. But as far as those, if you believe that, okay, we can get these wins, these are confident wins. Okay, these are the not so confident wins.
Not so confident wins is Oklahoma, Alabama, Georgia.
Right. You can't lose all three of them.
No.
Now, if you do, and you run the table elsewhere, I don't know that Tennessee's strength of schedule will say they're going to look at a quality win.
Yeah, they're going to look at our next quality win. If we drop those three,
yeah.
Our next quality win is NC State.
Right. So, and that's depending on how they finish.
Yeah, that's woo. Everybody else, Chattanooga, NC State, Kent State, Arkansas, Florida, Kentucky. Nope, not this year. They didn't get back.
Okay.
UTEP, and then Vanderbilt and Mississippi State. None of them matter. Kentucky, you never know. Kentucky might push out a 10 win, and we still get a victory against them.
And that's where we come to talk about that 3 loss. So if you drop those 3 games, you don't have a quality win.
Tennessee is a top 20 team, not a top 12 team.
So not a top 12. Now, say Florida, for instance, they drop 3 games to Tennessee, Georgia, and Miami. That means they would have beaten some quality teams.
Yeah, that means they then have to turn around and beat Florida State.
Win. Quality win.
LSU.
Quality win.
Ole Miss.
Quality win.
Texas.
Very quality win.
So
Ole Miss
that
and Texas. So
that would
that would get in.
honestly, yeah, that would put them dang, they're arguably trying to fight for a SEC championship spot.
Depend on how things fold. So if
Yeah.
they drop those 3 games, then that would give Florida a nod, and that's kind of the example
Yeah. So you're
that I was
saying
giving earlier.
if they drop a TAMU Texas or TAMU Tennessee and Miami, and then turn around and you beat let's see, you win Mississippi State, Kentucky, Georgia, Texas, LSU, Ole Miss. You win 6 SEC games, and then you pick up a Florida State win in there.
And I know that's 2 as of now, top 10 teams. And
Yeah.
then
I mean, all of them would be arguably Florida State, Ole Miss, Texas, LSU arguably could be top 10 teams. Now they're not right now because LSU's 13.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying as of right now, I know that's a few top 10 teams. So that would give Florida not Tennessee if like it was a 3 loss, and that head-to-head would matter as well.
Yeah,
so
the head-to-head, if we beat them, they're not going to put them over us head-to-head 3 losses. They can't. They can't. They probably wouldn't.
So you're saying if you beat Florida
in
Tennessee, now you beat Florida in Tennessee, then you turn around and have 3 losses, and Florida has 3 losses. Now both y'all have a head-to-head, and you lost.
They're going to consider the head-to-head.
They're going to consider the head-to-head, but think about it like this: what if you drop your 3 losses to your biggest opponents?
Yeah.
They drop 3 losses. Even if it don't even matter who they drop 3 losses to, because they're going to have better wins.
They're going to have higher quality wins. They're going to have multiple top 25 wins.
And they lost in Neyland.
Yeah, which is a tough game.
Exactly. So they lose in Neyland. They have better quality wins, and you both have 3 losses. The head-to-head will matter, but Florida will get that nod.
They are arguably because of the amount of wins. Yes, they could
because of their schedule is horrible. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
they go through their last 6 games is awful. That is, I would actually wish that on my enemy, 100%.
So I mean, like, do I think they do that? No. Hypothetical, right? So no, but go on. Tennessee. I do have a question.
Yeah.
I know you was kind of getting on the back end of it, but I do have a question about Tennessee's secondary. What does that look like?
It's not good. We lost a lot of talent. I mean, not even secondary, defense as a whole. Tyler Barron was a huge loss. So we got Pierce. Tyler Barron on the opposite side from him, having 2 quality D ends right there. That's a tough loss. I mean, and then Danico Slaughter leaving, Jalen McCullough leaving. We lost a lot of people to the transfer portal or to the league, where people just graded out. You're out of college. But we got some young talent picking up. We got a Matthews back there. We got a Boo Carter now picking up for Jordan Thomas, who went down with a knee injury. Boo's a stud. That's all I've been hearing about Boo Carter. The speed and the IQ he has. I've been hearing a lot of good things about him. So we got a couple good people that we've picked up from a lot of decent places, right? Biggest, like I said, Jordan Matthews. That's a huge pickup for us right there. Boo Carter picking up right there. We have Jamar McCoy, another DB on the opposite side. Jordan Thomas leaving is tough. But Jacoby Thomas could pick that up. Turrentine. He's a good pickup at DB too. So we have him out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee. So we have people, but how are they going to pan out? And I don't know. I honestly can't tell you. We'll see. But honestly, I just don't know. Looking at some of these guys, we got a lot of young people trying to take over. Will these guys be it? Will 4-star, 5-star Matthews be it? Will Boo Carter be it? Have the speed? Now, they might not have the height. Boo doesn't have a whole lot of height behind him, but he has the tenacity. They have him listed at 5'11". He's more like 5'8".
Yeah, I have to say he's about 5'8".
Yeah, but like 5'8", so he's not that big. So we'll see how he is with the jump balls.
I think that kind of tells me that one of 2 things are going to happen. Either you're going to play a lot of zone and you're going to give cushion, or you're going to blitz a lot to not give those receivers a chance to get open and things like that. So it is interesting to see, especially with a Oklahoma defense, with a Georgia defense, with a Alabama defense. It's interesting to see how that kind of offense pans out. So I am excited to see Boo Carter. I don't think, take it from me. If you take it from anybody, take it from me. Oklahoma's average 5'8", 5'9" DBs the whole time Lincoln Riley was there. And you see what happened.
Yeah.
We had to put up 100 points a game, and I'm not playing.
I think, and then in saying
I'm not
that,
playing.
I think it's going to be a 2022 type of Tennessee we see, where our offense is just so stellar that it makes up for the fact that our defense is not so. Now they have a lot of our guys DBs listed at 6 foot. They couldn't give him 6 foot. There's a lot of people that have listed at 6 foot 6'2". So we'll see. I mean, though they were honest with Boo, I only had him in the 5s. A lot of other people, I know Jordan Matthews is 6'1", 6'2". So a lot of these guys are 6 foot tall.
Yeah, and what you kind of like to see is 6'1", 6'2", because that means they're probably like 6 foot. And that's okay. That's good. That's not bad.
That's what you're going to see average a DB is going to be generally. You don't see a lot of super tall DBs out there. So I'll give them that. We got a lot of 6 foot, 6'2", 6'1" in there, and maybe they are 6 footers. But we got to see how much tenacity, how the dog in them is what you're really looking for. Now, where I think we'll make up for it is that our linebacker core. The Keenan Phil, the Aaron Carters, the people like that, the Elijah Simmons, who's on the line, Omari Thomas, our D line, Pierce coming off of it. We got some dogs out there on that line.
They weren't doing that in NCAA though.
That's where our bread and butter is going to be. I want to hear our bread and butter is going to be on that line, and that's where we got to stop the run, because that's what the biggest thing the SEC is, being able to stop the run. The pass is cool. We're going to blitz the hell out of you anyway, so you're going to want to you're not going to have time to pass it. So they're going to try to pound it out, soften them up, go over the top with it. So I think where we get it, we're looking at Tennessee's 2022 type team with our offenses. I think our offense with an accurate quarterback. Think about if Joe Milton was accurate, how different Tennessee would have looked last year. Had he been an accurate quarterback, not just all power, he knew, one, stop trying to jam players' hands 10 feet in front of you. Bro, give him a little toss, bro. You ain't got to break his fingers. He's right there. He's going to get there. Had he got that touchdown, Tennessee would have been a different team. And now we have a quarterback with the touch and the knowledge when to run it. Joe Milton just kind of didn't
touchdown. If he would have got his touch.
He got his touchdown. Like,
okay.
Hey, you slow it down a little bit, give a little finesse to it, not all power. So if he got that touch down, it could have been a different thing to it. Now we'll look at Nico. Before
you get to Nico, I told you about Joe Milton. I said Joe Milton will be great for the NFL because that power you need, that speed you need, because every window's tighter.
Yeah.
Every DB is better.
Those. Yeah.
And those dudes will be able to catch those. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, like, I think Joe Milton, just quick little thing, little praise to Joe Milton, because I was not a fan of him in college whatsoever. May take that starting position over Drake May for the Patriots. So shout out to him. I know that's something you want to see, because I don't think y'all got starting QB in that NFL, do you?
No, we had him. We got my boy Josh Dobbs out at the 49ers, man. I love to see him succeed. I love to see him succeed, man. But hands down favorite player. Then Hendo got a concussion trying to take off like he's Lamar Jackson. He got his bell rung. Rung. So, but he's going to do it. I feel bad to go on a tangent. We don't talk about NFL much. I don't think Hendon Hooker is going to be successful in the NFL. To put it blunt, only because I don't see him staying healthy enough. I just think he's going to be riddled, so much talent, but riddled with injuries from his knees to his head to everything. I think he's just going to be so much talent that his injuries are going to play too much of a factor and kind of hurt us right there. So I pray I'm dead wrong. I hope I am, because I really want to see him succeed. I enjoyed watching Hendon Hooker. I'm worried that he can't stay healthy enough to do it. So
reasonably.
But I digress. No, back to the rest of this. Yes, we have good outlook on offense with Nico. I like his touch, I like his accuracy, and I like the fact that some people behind him and that Coach Hype is recruiting. He's a quarterback. Dude is recruiting quarterbacks, man. We're getting 5 stars. We're getting solid 4 stars. Gaston Moore, who's been there for a while, but Jake Merklinger behind Nico. That is beautiful. Like you have a 5-star, 4-star, and another 5-star coming with 26. So are we on the right path? Last time Tennessee had a highly rated quarterback was Peyton Manning. That was our last 5-star quarterback. So we'll see. We'll see. Joe was a 4-star. I think Joe might have been a 4-star, 4 maybe 5, but he went to Michigan.
Now.
Yeah, he's transferred, fresh out of the high school, new booty, so to speak, and he's coming in to play. I think Nico is poised to do something, but he's young, untested. We'll see.
We'll see.
So
for sure.
Tennessee, like I said, I have us 10 wins this year, maybe more if we can pick up those tough games. Maybe less if they don't. Maybe 9. I have them at least at minimum a 9-win team this year. Minimum. So
not bad take.
Yep.
Bad.
Right. Where we at with Oklahoma?
So I think the thing that I'm worried about with Oklahoma is, one, their schedule is very tough. 2, our offense. So replacing 5 starters on the offensive line is always tough, no matter where you at. The thing is, we have the greatest O-line coach in college football, in Bill Bedenbaugh. So if anybody can do it, he can do it. Now, the thing is, let's talk about the scrimmage. Friday, how it unfolded was Jackson Arnold, he had 3 picks. Yeah. Now, is that a nod to Jackson that, hey, you have really good quality on defense that's pretty damn good? Or is that still the inexperience that we're lacking with Jackson that, only time can tell? Yeah, so this is my take. Jackson's young. Jackson's gonna throw pick. 3 of our starters at wide receiver didn't play in the scrimmage. The defense is one of the most complex defense that I've ever been. I ain't gonna say been a part of, but watched in Brent Venables, because he shows so many different things and it never usually pans out to be what it is. He's going to show too high, drop down, and it's probably a blitz. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of things that kind of go into his scheming, and it's very hard to get somebody settled in with that, because I feel like any good quarterback is probably going to throw a pick. Quinn Ewers threw a pick first play of the Red River robbery, right?
Yeah.
Billy Bowman had the most picks in the Big 12 last year. I think he had the number 2 overall in the nation. Like, we're gonna get picks on defense. So I want to be faithful and say, like, hey, Jackson's young. This defense is good. That's what it is. We was missing receivers, this, that, and the third. Like, things are gonna happen, right? Mm-hmm. Now, on the outlook of the season, we have to get that Tennessee win. I think that is more so for us than for Tennessee. I think it's more important a win for us than Tennessee. And I say that because if you want to talk bragging rights, yeah, like it's an even trade, because Josh Hype was coming back to stand a third. But for a successful season, I think it's more important for Oklahoma. We dropped that Tennessee game. Now we got to play. Now we have to beat Texas. Mm-hmm. We have to beat Alabama. We have to beat LSU, a Missouri, a Ole Miss. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's LSU. A lot more LSU. Yeah. So it's a lot more riding on that game than it is for Tennessee. Tennessee has 3, and I'm not saying it's not important for them, because at the end of the day, you have to still get 2. You have to still get 2 of those 3. Yeah. So to speak. So if you go out and drop that Oklahoma game, then you have to beat Bama and Georgia, and that's tough. That's a tough slate. Yeah, Bama, I say it's a toss up. Georgia, that's against y'all, right? Yeah. So when we talk about Oklahoma, we talk about, okay, their defense is going to be pretty good. Everybody's harping defense. Now, I think that our defense should be, and I'm going to say this on live, should be top 10 in the nation. should be. I think they have the potential to be top 3 defense in the nation. I do believe that. Adding somebody like Dominic Williams, who has been in the national championship game against Georgia, who played for TCU, who led their team in sacks both years as a freshman, as a sophomore, who we picked up a Woolard. I know he went to Miami, Ohio, but led the team in tackles. You know what I'm saying? So that's the defensive end. We have Deshaun McCullough, who made the freshman All-American team in the linebacker. We have Danny Stutzman coming back, who's
Danny
up for
you
know what I'm saying? Biletnikoff Awards and all these awards. We have Billy Bowman coming back, who was second in the nation in picks. We have good DBs. We have good linebackers. We have Peyton Bowen. You know what I mean? We have the pieces. I think that they can be a top 3 defense. I do believe that. And if I didn't believe that, I would never say it. And now for offense, they have to. Deion Burks is healthy. Deion Burks is going to shred defenses. I don't care who it is. He's going to shred.
He's small and he's shifty. He's good.
He's shifty. Jalil Farouk, nice receiver. Nice receiver. Nick Anderson.
Senior, he's experienced in it. Very experienced.
Exactly. Yeah. Nick Anderson, nice receiver.
Yep.
It seemed like every catch he caught last year, besides a handful, was a touchdown. And I'm dead serious. Andrew Anthony coming off of ACL tear. That's very tough. But the thing is about that receiver room is we are so deep at the receiver room. And I know Jaden Gibson just went down with an injury. Don't have any disclosure on that. But if the offense can be, and somebody made a good point. I was watching a podcast yesterday. Somebody made a good point that, like, think about the national championship teams. Their offense hasn't been very elite. You know what I mean? Their offense wasn't.
Michigan was elite last year. I'll give them that.
Michigan?
With Corum, JJ, that was a top tier offense. Georgia with Brock Bowers and the powers they had out there.
But the thing is, they didn't.
Offense. His quarterback might not be as good.
It wasn't a, how do I say, offense. It wasn't an Oklahoma offense. It wasn't an Ohio State offense, right?
It wasn't a USC type offense. It wasn't one of them winning it. Yeah. But
what has gotten them there?
Championships.
Defense, what has gotten them there?
Defense. Georgia's
always.
Defense. Yeah.
Georgia's defense is what? Dog.
It was. They honestly were. Are they the same defense now? They've lost a lot of talent over the past 2 years. Are they the same?
Oh. I gotta take an intermission. My headset went out. I'll be right back.
I hear you.
Cover for me.
Cover for drop back. Prevent, going into the prevent. But no, I get where you're coming from. 100%. I get where you're coming from with that. Not having that elite defense is what makes the difference. Hell, we look at Tennessee 2022, not having an elite defense, and of course the accident with Hendon Hooker tearing his ACL, and the cheating scandals with old boy from Michigan allegedly coming down to South Carolina and making some comments. It was all alleged at the end of the day. But not having an elite defense is what made the difference, as we guys saw in 2022 with Tennessee. I think that's going to play the biggest factor for any team, even for us this year, the Vols. Are we going to be able to make a difference or be as top tier of an offense where we are almost unstoppable? We're putting up 45 to 50 points in a game, which allows our defense to then turn around and give up 40 points, but our offense is outscoring the opponent. Or we just have a defense that is going to step up, a bunch of young guys coming into the situation. Our defensive pressure on that line is so elite that we really make the difference. I mean, time will tell a lot of these things, but like you said, being in a position to where you have an elite defense, which makes up for a not as elite offense, or just a great offense, but your defense and offense are arguably matching, so you can compete on both sides of the ball. If you guys are getting turnovers, getting the ball back in the offensive hands, ultimately that's what's going to win you the game, right? Being in that position. So if you're getting the ball back to your guys, you get dubs. You just got to score it where it matters. And then Will can attest this. Like I'm gonna get my biggest points of the game are your 8. You got to win 8. You got to win 4 minutes before halftime and come out after 4 half minutes and win after halftime and win that 4 minutes. Jesus, tongue tied. Those are the biggest moments of the game to me. personally. It's halftime and right after how you come back. Is your momentum still the same? Is your energy still the same? Are you going to come out and change to whatever the other team is showing you? If they were up ahead coming into halftime, do you turn around and have that energy coming into it at that point in time? I was kind of talking about the 4 minutes, right? Have you 8 minutes right there that are top tier. Last 4 of the half, first 4 coming out of half. Is your defense ready to step back up? Offense ready to keep the ball moving, keep that momentum going? But no, like you said, arguably defense will win. We saw that with 22 Tennessee, of course. Not having a top tier defense would have got you.
Yeah, and kind of what I was saying was, I know you said Michigan. I was kind of reading lips there for a second because I didn't really hear you. But Michigan's offense wasn't elite. It wasn't.
They
Georgia's
definitely kept
offense.
a lot of games, but Georgia's offense wasn't.
Yeah. Georgia's offense wasn't elite. It wasn't elite. And what I mean by elite is like Michigan, pro style offense, run the ball, spread sometimes, flares, all that kind of stuff. Like Michigan's offense was very mediocre. Now, Blake Corum, yes. JJ McCartney, yes, they were good. The dude, Donovan, whatever his name is, the backup running back for
Donovan. I think Donovan is his last name.
Oh yeah, well he good running game, good. They were okay. Here, let me give you this in the zone 1, zone 2. You know what I'm saying?
But JJ was dotting folks up out there. Don't get me wrong, JJ,
and so was Stetson Bennett.
Yeah,
and so was Stetson Bennett. But what I'm saying is, the offense wasn't like, if they didn't have a good defense, they would not have won them championships. And
I think Georgia's offense wasn't elite. Was elite. Stetson Bennett was not elite.
He was not elite. They had good pieces around. It wasn't elite. JJ McCartney, good quarterback. Just like how I feel about Carson Beck, I still don't think that their offense is elite.
Carson's not even a Heisman contender. I don't know why. This year is going to expose him. I think he gets exposed. Not having those Brock Bowers, Lad McConkey's, not having these players that are just playmakers. I think he's going to get exposed a little bit this year. I think we're gonna see the true not Stetson Bennett. Sorry, y'all. Carson Beck. We're gonna see the true Carson Beck this year.
So yeah, and so what I'm saying by elite is those offenses. It wasn't your Oklahoma, your Ohio States, your USC as a recent. It wasn't those high-powered, high-scoring offenses. The defense is what was hit. So and the reason why I bring that up in the first place was because, just referring to Oklahoma, is if Carson Beck, if Jackson Arnold and Oklahoma offense can just be decent, I think that will help us win ball.
Jesus Christ, I keep smacking my mic right here.
Hey, look, it's been a long time. We having some technical difficulties. We having some ball-headed.
I'm not in my normal setup either. That's what's also kind of messing me up, because I'm in the process of transition process right now. So not having everything where it normally is what messes me up. So trying to move and grab stuff, adjust the my little mixer right here. Everything just feels so weird because it's not normally where it's at. But it's the first one back.
Yeah, first one back. Yeah, so we definitely have some struggles. So bear with us. But now just to wrap things up, the overall outlook on Oklahoma is, I see a lot of analysts, I see a lot of just podcast people giving their takes on what the record would be, this, that, and the third. One thing I'm not going to do is put a record on us, because my passion for Oklahoma runs too deep for me to sit here and say, "Oh, we should be 9-3." Bro, we should win every single game that we line up. You know what I'm saying? We go out there and say, "Okay, we're probably gonna lose this game, but it's okay. We need to get this game." No. My perspective, and like if I was the coach and I was a part of that team, my thing is, there's no name. Just like BB said, nameless, faceless opponents. Nobody has a name. Nobody has a face. We go out and we play everybody the exact same. We go out and expect to beat everybody. So at the end of the day, like, okay, yeah, you can be realistic, this, that, and the third. My realistic take is, do I think there's teams that we play that's better than us? Probably, yeah. Do I think we should win every game? Yes. Because why are we going out there to strap up if we are not going to win, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm never going to sit here and say, okay, yeah, 9-3, 8-4, I can see us this year. No, sir. Every game is we going out there to win. You know what I mean? Like, if we lose that game, so be it. But we going out there to win at the end of the day. And so I'm not going to put a projection on the record. I just want them to go out there and give their best shot each and every week.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I mean, why are we showing up if you're not coming to win? Don't come just to be competitive. Come to win. At the end of the day, not come. Oh well, we didn't get beat by 21. I mean, we only lost by a field goal. We lost by no. I want you to come out here and give your all for Vols. And they smacked out. I will give my all for Tennessee. That's what it is. Go out there, leave it all on the field. Because at the end of the day, that's all that matters, right?
You got to do it every week.
You only get 4 years. No more 7 wins. You only get 4 years. So you better make it fucking count at the end of the day, right? Every week you come out, I'm gonna give 100% this game. Next week, I don't care if it is UTEP, give another 100%. Beat them by 60, right? Give that same energy, and then if we are up by 40 points, cool. Let the next guys come in so they get that experience. Say, hey, this is what it's like to be at Tennessee. This is what it's like to have 100,000 people screaming for you.
Love it. Go out and win every game. Go out with the purpose to win every single game. I don't want to drop this game. I don't want to drop this game. No, go out and win every single game and give it your all. You know, you win some, you lose some. That's the name of the game. You know what I'm saying? So there's records for a reason. There's playoffs for a reason. There's stats for a reason. There's championships for a reason. But you go out with the expectation to be the person in front of you every week. As simple as that. As simple as that. And that's my take.
Simple as that. What you simple as? See, that's what it is, man. Cool. I mean, that's it, man. That's really it. Like we had to get this in. You know, we next weekend. It is already back around, but we will definitely be back on here before then to get those predictions and really break down FSU Georgia Tech. You know, FSU lost some talent, and Georgia Tech can sleep up on you and beat you if you're Miami. You do dumb stuff. So be prepared for the unprepared, right? Proper preparation prevents poor performance. If you come out and you ready to win it and you take your time, I mean, you never know. Any given Saturday, right?
Any given, buddy.
Any given. So I'm Tom.
I'm Wody.
It's BroswithMics. Thank you for tuning in. If you took the time, we are back at it like a jackrabbit. Back like I forgot something because I'm something, right? We thank
Love
y'all
it. Can't wait to see y'all again.
We'll holla at y'all. That's it, my boy. Peace up out of this thing.
Not confetti. That boy hit me with the confetti.
Not the confetti. Boy,
what are we celebrating at the end of the day?
Hey, man, we celebrating
life.
Life. Yeah, preseason AP poll. Life. Being here to make this stream. That's what I'm celebrating.
Hey.
We out.